thought we'd talk first of all about your new book that's coming out in August called It's Debatable, Talking Authentically About Tricky Topics, where, if I understand correctly, you want people to be able to discuss the most contentious issues in a civilized way. Why do you think it's necessary to tell people that this ought to be possible? Do you think we've lost the ability to have those difficult discussions?
Well, it's a common observation, not only in the United States, but around the world, that political polarization has made ordinary political debate increasingly difficult. And I certainly see it here in the United States. So as someone who spent his whole life as a journalist or a teacher, someone who tried to, look at evidence and apply logic in a rational way, I do still hold out that that's possible, even with the strong emotions coursing throughout the political world today. I don't hold myself out as an expert at it, but I've spent the better part of 40 years trying to do it well. And I think there are some basic tips that can be offered, some understanding of what free speech really means and its value. And then in the book, I go through 3 of the hot button topics in the United States: race, transgender ideology, and the ecological crises, to try and put that into practice.
And if you're talking about critical race theory, people who believe in it just assume that it's self-evident, don't they, and find it very hard to understand people who might be in my position and think that it's phony. So how do you get the polite debate around it rather than the sort of Yabu sucks debate?
Well, I think we can start with common denominators, that is, basic principles most of us hold, and the evidence that's really kind of incontrovertible. The history of racism in the United States is, pretty self-evident. How to understand its enduring presence in the U.S. is more contentious. Critical race theory, it's an idea I bumped into, 30 years ago in graduate school, offers one way to understand why racism didn't evaporate even after the significant legislative victories of the 1960s, like the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act. And I think those are questions that can be debated. I start with the evidence as a white person trying to reflect on the privileges and advantages I've had, and then move into some of the more contentious issues. And I think that's appropriate. Start with values. Most of us share certain values, the equality, solidarity, those sorts of things, and then move into what's more difficult to resolve.